So good morning, it's the 29th and it's Tuesday and we've come down the plot and I wasn't expecting blue sky and we've got quite a mist in the fields below. I was really surprised. It's going to be a nice day. I think by 10-11 o'clock there's a chance of rain, so let's get some jobs done. This morning I looked in my spare bedroom where I had my propagator. Not looked in there for about 2 weeks, and I have found the Luffa plant was still growing, and I didn't even know it was in there. As you can see, there's a few that went astray, but I thought, well, I'll find some space in the tunnel, so I brought it down the days to stick in the tunnel. So let's find a job to get in there. So after all this rain we had, just checking out my pots, and I've realised one mistake I've done. And I've put a tray here without any holes, and everything is floating. Seeing as tomatoes are supposed to not want to be in wet soil, I think that's totally the opposite. So I'm just going to get them out and I'm going to give them a dry out. Should have really been in the ground by now, but that's a easy mistake to have done. So we'll go on my rack here and dry out. So I think the cucumbers are stuck outside because they were not doing much, but they're actually taking a bit. And this one is a bit of a thread on the root, so I might just put them up into a bigger tray. I think this one's not going to survive the day, so let's put these up. So I'm going to take my broad beans out of this end just so I can plant the loofah, and then the loofah can go up the frame. That's the plan. Well, I'm just going to chop them off. I'm not going to pull them out, leave the roots in the ground, as they have the little nitrogen pores on the roots, and it will leave the nitrogen in the soil. So I'm just going to cut them off and clear maybe 4 plants and do a bit of weeding. I'm going to put the loofah here, see if we can do this year. So we're just snipping off the roots, taking off the plants. As you can see, we've already had some fruits off of these, so there's not many left. And I'm just literally going to chop them up, smaller pieces, and they're going to go onto the compost. As you can see when I show you, I'm going to do 6. I'm going to take this one away, 2. All the beans have been taken off of these. There's 1 there. So we've given ourselves a bit of extra space. So it looks good. Might just chop this one. We've got many tomatoes growing in the bottom here. This was the tomato bed before, so I'll show you. Full of spindly tomato plants. So we've made a little area space here, so I might just clear some of these tomato plants. So as you can see, lots of tomatoes. So I've taken a handful, fairly good ones, and I'm going to put them up into the individual pots. This is 3 tomatoes, so that's ideal. I'm just putting them up into bigger pots and we'll look after them. I say it may be a bit overkill, but I hate losing plants. And even though I've got already my tomatoes planted out, I can always share these with others. Does anyone else share the same feeling? But once a plant has grown, it's hard to give it up. I've had to give up some of my giant cauliflowers, giant cabbages, just because I've got no space for them. I need to grow veg that we can eat instead of the big trials. So we're just potting these up. I do want to have a tomato garden. I've seen on my other plots some of the gardeners have great lines of tomatoes, and I've been quite envious of that. So I'm just planting these deep, and I just don't know, just feel as if I want to do a couple of lines of tomatoes in the ground. So these are Gardener's Delight, which I grew last year. They would have grown in the centre bed. So I'm doing these as deep as I can in the pots. And this will be my lines in the garden. I've got one area where I'd like to do it, but I've got quite a few tomatoes already on the go. But we did buy a soup maker this year, so I'm looking forward to doing tomato soup. Last year we had so many tomatoes. Well, we had about 90 plants last year. But if I continue doing this, I'll probably end up doing the same. But, oh well. Joys of vegetable gardening. It's all a bit of fun at the end of the day. So this is another batch done, and I'm sure after a bit of a juice these will recover. This one's a bit yellow, but it has been sheltered by the broad beans. So quick and easy, making other jobs to do. Came out today to do the loofah and ended up potting up tomatoes. That's a random day at the allotment. So nearly done, one more. It's a bit of a tall, lanky one. Might even put them in a bigger pot. That one will do. Give it a bit more space. We can go a bit taller. So we'll just see if these recover. If they don't, no loss. But there's all 3 tomatoes. So let me show you what we've done. So this is all our 3 tomato plants. So this is the Luffa seeds. And I think we might just put them straight in the ground as that. They're going to go in at the end of the broad beans here. I've cleared a little area. I think I'm just going to put them in as it is, just like that. Here's the roots of the broad bean I was going to leave in. Wow, that's really... So there's our hole. And we're just going to put them in next to the pole, as so. There we go, and they're in. So I might just cover them with some compost. And we'll see what happens with these. If these can grow without any attention at all, well, I'm sure they can grow here without any attention. This is my third attempt at Luffa. Not as if I've done this before, but Erica from Erica's Little Welsh Garden, she gave us some Loofah last year, and we tried that, and it wasn't much success. We did grow up this pole before, but it didn't really do much. So anyway, there we are. It's in, and see what it does. Move some of these tomatoes nearby. They're not doing much good now. So that's the loofahs done. So thank you for watching. Just a short day trip today, and if you enjoyed the day trip, then leave us a comment. Just got a couple of jobs done. So please subscribe, ring the bell, get notifications when I post some more. Thank you very much. So I potted up the stray tomatoes. The loofah seeds are in. We've also done this, and that will be in a future video, and we'll be taking home the broad beans for dinner. Good morning done. Rain's just appearing, so I'm getting on now.